The last white cornerback to start an NFL game was former New York Giant Jason Sehorn, who played his last snap at the cornerback position in 2002. So it's no surprise that Iowa cornerback Cooper DeJean is a hot topic for the 2024 NFL Draft. And his race is not an excuse to drop his draft stock. DeJean is a dog. So after watching 5 games of his, 4 All-22 and 1 in person, I have come up with the conclusion on if DeJean is worth a first-round pick or not. I'm Chase Keller, and welcome to Cooper DeJean, a detailed scouting report. Enjoy. Before I jump into film, here is a quick overview of DeJean's career up to this point. A 4-star composite recruit out of Iowa, he was mostly being recruited as a quarterback prospect. He unsurprisingly committed to the University of Iowa, and he actually committed there as a safety, but he switched over to cornerback before his first collegiate game. His first season was a bit uneventful as he made 4 tackles in 11 snaps. He also had a kick return for 20 yards. His sophomore season was when the DeJean memo came in. 75 tackles, 5 interceptions, and a whopping 3 pick sixes. In this season, he allowed a passer rating of 49.7, which was top 20 out of all cornerbacks with at least 250 coverage snaps. But his junior season was a step back and he got hurt to end the year, but it was still impressive nonetheless. 41 tackles, 5 pass breakups, 3 interceptions. He also heavily contributed as a punt returner, and he had a punt return touchdown that I got the chance to see in person.
Down the sideline, goodbye!
And in this season, he allowed a passer rating of 37.8, which was an improvement, and it was 8th among all cornerbacks with the same criteria as before. He already brings a nice coverage skill set into the league along with all-around value, but how much can he contribute in the NFL? Let's dive into the film. To begin the strength section for DeJean, I have to talk about how he makes his impact known all around the field. Obviously, I will dive into the pass defense aspect of things in this video, but there's more to his game. It starts with his run defense. Cornerbacks struggle to defend the run at as big of a rate as DeJean can. It starts with the fact that he's a fantastic tackler in the open field. His 2023 season brought on an interesting amount of missed tackles, but I only saw 1 on tape and it wasn't even that bad. On this play, he takes on a blocker on a designed quarterback run. He actually spins out of this block and makes a quick and easy tackle on the quarterback, one that you wouldn't expect if you rewinded a second before the tackle. Along with that, he's a punt returner as I said earlier, and he brings some great value there. I wish I could show you guys, but the All-22 film only provides me with defensive snaps. Anyways, having the value in pass coverage, run defense, and in the return game is going to interest teams heavily. Moving on to his coverage skills, DeJean has an intriguing blend of physical and athletic traits. Let's split these into 2 sections. Beginning with his physicality, DeJean is able to use his 6'1", 207-pound frame to make several kinds of physical plays in coverage. Along with that, I think I only saw 1 or 2 catches on him when he used his above-average play strength to cover routes. And to be fair, I only watched 15 receptions allowed in the 5 All-22 games. On this play, he's able to perfectly match the receiver's release at the line in press coverage and stay attached to the out route using legal physicality. He doesn't hold, but he ensures that his assignment doesn't leave even an arm-length distance away from DeJean. Another positive relating to his physicality is his ability to jam receivers in press coverage. While I do wish I saw it more since he didn't play hard press coverage as much as I would have liked on film, and that's why you aren't seeing examples here, he's able to initiate contact early and knock receivers off their release and or their route. The physicality also brings on great tackling as mentioned earlier, but we don't need to discuss that more. All in all, DeJean is able to use this physicality to mirror receivers on several types of routes. The other half of DeJean's intriguing blend is his athleticism. Coming from a track background where he ran sprints and was a state champion in long jump, you would assume he is athletic. Yet he brings on multiple very good traits that just further proves his athleticism. It begins with his deep speed. His 40 will likely be in the mid 4.4s, but I think his play speed shows faster than that. On several occasions, he went stride for stride with receivers that are both athletic and physical. Like on this occasion, where as I mentioned before, he just goes stride for stride with his assignment. No overdoing it, no underdoing it, just straight up deep speed to stay attached to his assignment. Then there's the explosiveness. He's able to use this short area burst to click and close on receivers at quick paces, even if I have concerns with the timing of his anticipation, which I'll get into later. Anyways, this explosiveness was something that I noted immediately, as even if he misses his timing, he can get to the target quick, even using the explosiveness to create big hits. Like on this play. Some other receiver gets a catch, but he's able to explode off his man and generate a massive hit on fellow 2024 draft prospect Roman Wilson. I don't even want to focus on the hit. He triggers the close on Wilson and just explodes there greatly, 6 yards to be exact. And finally, there's the elusiveness. He's able to mirror cuts from receivers and stay on them with the same elusive moves that they make. I think this is also present in his return game, but it translates over to his coverage ability. On this play, he doesn't fall for the double move, he stays mirrored perfectly, and he doesn't even give the Penn State receiver a chance. He's not only able to use his physicality to stay smothered to a receiver, but he's also able to use his start and stop ability. Overall, while none of his athletic traits are elite by any means, his great combination gives him a fun skill set. Along with this great blend of physicality and athleticism, let's talk about DeJean's ball skills to end this strength section. His ability to not only sense the ball but also make a play on it is fantastic. This is shown in his production, as he picked off 8 balls in his final 2 seasons. While 13 pass breakups isn't too fantastic, the 8 picks are. But how does it look on tape? Watching this interception in person was an absolute treat, as he beautifully tracks this ball down, makes the grab, and gets his feet in bounds. This play is something you'd see out of a wide receiver, especially the ball tracking bit of things. This was amazing. And then shortly after this interception, he came together with nice body control and timing to get this pass deflection on an out route. While this route wasn't anything special, this PBU was still phenomenally timed by DeJean. And it's not just in the Michigan State game, I promise. Here against Wisconsin, this throw was a tad off, but DeJean was able to close in using his explosiveness and also dive for the pass breakup. Don't worry, this was a PBU and it was marked as one, but still, great play here. DeJean also had 3 pick sixes in 2022, which was more touchdowns than all of Iowa's wide receivers combined. But I couldn't catch any on all 22 film. He didn't have one against Michigan and he didn't have one against Northwestern. He didn't have a single pick 6 in 2023, and while his ball production cooled down, he still played extremely well in coverage. Well, those are all of the strengths I have for DeJean. Now let's talk about the negatives. I've seen some scouting reports putting DeJean's anticipation as a positive, and while I can see that to an extent, I do have a big problem with his timing. While his click and close is impressive due to his great explosiveness, he could time these better overall. Here's an example of what I mean. While this is a zone defense, the quarterback's eyes stayed on the right side of the field the entire time. He waited until the ball was coming out to close on this receiver, and he ultimately allowed the catch. Earlier anticipation, and this could have been an incomplete pass. A lot of these anticipation concerns come through his footwork and his technique using his feet. It can be both erratic and cautious at times, and he just needs to grow some consistency with this footwork. Even if he's late with his click and close, this footwork sometimes holds him back from closing in efficiently. I actually want to extend on the idea of him being cautious at times. While I do think he never overcommits to plays, and that's one of my big positives about him, he does often hesitate to make the play and often ends in allowing receptions and bigger plays. For example, on this play he goes way off in man coverage and stays way off, even after the comeback break from his assignment. He only begins his close once the ball flies, and because of his decision making here, Penn State gains a good chunk and a first down. Being cautious and hesitating at times is going to allow teams to throw a variety of different unique offensive sets at him and try to question his decision making. If he continues to hesitate like this, teams can feed on him in the NFL. There is also a concern on how scheme specific DeJean is, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what scheme he would fit in. So with that being said, this ends the negative section. Alright, it is time to give DeJean a final grade. But before I do that, here's my final scouting report on the Iowa cornerback. The positives are: appealing frame at 6'1", 207. Does a great job using physicality and elusiveness to mirror receivers. Has the speed to go stride for stride on vertical routes. Nice ball skills and ball production. Great tackler, adds so much value as a run defender. Doesn't overcommit in both pass and run. Though I wanted more, he does jam well in hard press coverage. Position versatile. He can play cornerback and safety. And adds value as a return specialist. And his negatives are: I'm genuinely unsure on what scheme he will fit in. Sluggish footwork provides struggles in anticipation. Sometimes can play too cautious and allow receptions that way. Some iffy zone transitions on film. Plays with back to QB too often, and struggles to shed blocks. I stick by what I said earlier. Cooper DeJean is a dog. While I do have concerns on where he will fit in the NFL, there's no denying his great combination of athleticism, physicality, and instincts. As a result, his final grade doesn't reach first round talent status, but only about 15 prospects get that nod. He gets a B+, which translates to a mid-second round grade. Do you want to know where he will be ranked in this cornerback class? Stay tuned on this channel as I start my ranking series very soon. What do you think of Cooper DeJean as a 2024 draft prospect? Do you agree with my grade? Let me know in the comments section below. Wait, are you not subscribed yet? Well, do it now. I release content like this all the time and would really appreciate your support. I'm Chase Keller from Chase Keller Journalism, and I will see you all next time.